Hello everyone, a very pleasant day to you. Here are the top stories. These are: Supreme Court upholds President's power to declare emergency rule, suspend elected officials. Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu hails Nigerian Army, pledges support for military operations. Gunmen kill one, adopt pregnant woman, others in Kogi church attack. A very good day to you and welcome to First Next News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Usoro. Now the news in details. The Supreme Court has upheld the power of the President to declare a state of emergency in any state to prevent a breakdown of law and order or degeneration into a state of chaos or anarchy. In a split decision of 6-1, the Apex Court held that the President, during a state of emergency, can suspend elected officials, but that such suspension of elected officials must be within a limited period. In the lead majority judgment, Justice Muhammad Idris held that Section 305 of the Constitution empowers the President to deploy extraordinary measures to restore normalcy where emergency rule is declared. Justice Muhammad Idris noted Section 305 was not specific on the nature of the extraordinary measures, thereby granting the President discretion on how to go about it. The judgment was on the suit filed by Adamawa State and 10 other People's Democratic Party-led states challenging the propriety of the state of emergency declared by President Bola Tinubu in Rivers State, during which elected state officials, including Governor Siminalayi Fubara, were suspended for 6 months. Justice Idris, the earlier part of the judgment, upheld the preliminary objections raised by the two defendants against the competence of the suit. In upholding the objections raised by the Attorney General of the Federation, AJF, and the National Assembly, the defendants, Justice Idris, held that the plaintiffs, the 11 PDP states, failed to establish any cause of action capable of activating the original jurisdiction of the Apex Court. He struck out the suit for want of jurisdiction, proceeded to also determine the case on the merits, and dismissed it. Moving on, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the Lagos State has pledged more support for the Nigerian Army in discharging its constitutional responsibility of protecting the nation's territorial integrity. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who stated this at the 2025 Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference in Lagos, applauded the Army's operations in keeping the country safe. The governor said the nation sees the officers and values what they offer. He, however, urged them to engage with openness at the conference, which was at its theme, examining the current landscape of terrorism through the lenses of diplomatic and military action strategy for long-term prevention and stabilization. Also had in attendance Vice President Kashim Shettima, the Minister of Defense General Christopher Musa, retired, and the service chiefs. Former Kaduna Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai has denied reports that he said the northern part of the country should produce Nigerian's president in the 2027 general election. A chieftain of the opposition, African Democratic Congress, El-Rufai denied making the claim in a statement he released on the social media handle. The former governor, who was a former member of the All Progressive Congress APC, said he never indicated which region of the country should produce Nigerian's next president in any of the speeches, interviews, or social media posts. El-Rufai accused editors and who published the news without verifying of ignoring their duty. The chairman of Accord Party in Osun, Pastor Babalola Akande, says the only legally recognized candidate of the party for the 2026 governorship election in the state is Governor Ademola Adeleke. Akande reiterated this in a statement on the backdrop of primaries conducted by another faction of the Accord Party in Osogbo on Sunday. He described the primaries conducted by the factional Accord Party as an unlawful political charade orchestrated by the opposition. He said the party is not disturbed by crude impersonation and political mischief, stating that the public should, however, know the impersonators are athletes of the opposition, acting as proxies to undermine the popularity of Adeleke. The party chairman said any individual parading himself as a candidate of the Accord without lawful nomination will be committing a clear act of impersonation and electoral fraud, which is actionable both under the Electoral Act 2022 and relevant provisions of the Criminal Code and penal laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He said that Adeleke remained the sole and legally recognized governorship candidate of the Accord in Osun, noting that no power structure, impersonator, and contrived spectacle can alter legal reality. Moving on, the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Dr. Kabiru Turaki, has stated that the task of sacking the ruling All Progressive Congress APC from Asurok in 2027 is possible due to the incompetence of the ruling party, adding, however, that it won't be a tea party. Addressing newsmen after a 40-minute closed-door meeting of PDP leaders with former President Olusegun Obasanjo at his Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta, Dr. Turaki stated that the frank discussion between the opposition party leaders and the former president has further inspired them that the task ahead is not impossible. Turaki led the party's newly elected National Working Committee, NWC, on a visit to Obasanjo to secure his critical support and guidance ahead of the party's tasks. He described Obasanjo as a highly experienced elder statesman and former president under the PDP administration, whose legacy of building strong institutions has significantly strengthened democratic development in the country. Explaining the purpose of the visit, Turaki said the opposition party's new leadership, though it was wise to visit Obasanjo to draw on his wealth of wisdom and seek his blessings and support for the success of the party's new leaders. And the entourage of the new PDP leadership were the chairman of the party's Board of Trustees, BOT, and former Senate President, Senator Adolphus Wabara, the National Secretary and former Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Alhaji Taufik Arabaja, two former governors of Niger and Plateau States, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu and Senator Jonah Jang, respectively. Moving on to security matters, at least 4 people have been killed and several others abducted following separate terrorist attacks on the church and multiple communities across parts of Kogi State, sparking renewed fear amongst residents and calls for urgent security intervention. The incidents occurred in Ayetora Kiri Kaba, Bonu, Kogi Church Attack local government area and in Okeagi and Lai communities in Mupomora local government area of the state, where terrorists targeted worshippers and residents, killing 4 persons in total and abducting no fewer than 20 people. In Ayetora Kiri, terrorists attacked the first ECWA church during a service, killing 1 worshipper and abducted at least 20 others. Local authorities and security operatives said they are still assessing the situation, noting that the number of abducted persons may even be more than 20. Reacting to the incident, the chairman of Kabu Bunu local government area, Sakios Dari Michael, blamed the church for holding service despite security concerns in the area and subsequently ordered the closure of all markets within the locality. Moving on, 8 persons escaped death after a flybird aircraft was involved in a landing incident at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano State, prompting an investigation by the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau. The aircraft, a Hawker 800 SP, operated by Flybird Aircraft Management Services Limited, was on a non-scheduled domestic passenger flight from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to Kano when the incident occurred. Flybird Aircraft Management Services Limited, in a statement, confirmed that the aircraft experienced an operational incident on arrival in Kano, adding that the flight crew adhered strictly to established safety and operational procedures, successfully bringing the aircraft to a stop and ensuring the safe evacuation of all occupants. Reacting to the development, the spokesperson of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Bimbo Oladiji, confirmed the incident and disclosed that a formal investigation has commenced. And in business, Founder and president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has announced that petrol prices will drop to 739 naira per litre nationwide beginning Tuesday, with initial implementation. Dangote, at a press briefing at the Lekki refinery, said the refinery had reduced its gantry price from 828 naira to 699 naira per litre 2 days earlier. He assured that the 739 naira per litre price will be enforced and emphasized his commitment to fight price manipulation. The group's CEO expressed concern that some filling stations were deliberately keeping pump prices high, undermining the intended reduction. Dangote urged members of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, and other buyers to purchase fuel at the lower gantry price. Moving on to the foreign scene, flash floods have killed at least 37 people in Morocco's coastal Safi region. Cars and mounds of rubbish were seen sweeping through the main port city of Safi after torrential rain hit. Dozens of people have been receiving treatment in hospital for their injuries, say at least 70 homes have been inundated in the old city center. Reports say access to and from the city is blocked on certain roads because of damage and debris. Moroccan authorities say search and rescue missions are still underway. Weather experts say the climate crisis is in part responsible for the extreme weather fluctuations seen in the North African states. A manhunt has resumed in connection with a deadly shooting at Brown University in the U.S. after officials said a person of interest will be released from detention. In a statement by the Rhode Island Attorney General, Peter Neroha, explained that there was no basis to still consider the detained person to be of interest and that the evidence now points in a different direction. The investigation is ongoing and authorities are searching for additional video evidence that could help them track down the suspect. 2 people were killed and 9 others injured after a gunman opened fire at the Ivy League University in the city of Providence, the state capital. Also speaking press conference, Providence Police Chief Cole Oscar Paris said investigators did not think the person detained was the individual shown in CCTV footage of the suspect that was released on the day of the attack. That's all on the news this hour. I am Becky Usoro. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.